Presented by GhostBed.com.
Welcome to Drinkin, Bros. There is a lot going on in the world today. Dan, a lot going on in the world today. Things seem crazy. And every day it seems to get even crazier. And we're here for you every single day, trying to do the best we can to give you the live breaking news, live on the YouTubes and around the world. And we're giving it our best. We're giving it our best. Are you giving your best, Dan? Are you at the point where you're just like, I'm all done with this earth? Or yeah, I am as well. I'm getting close to that. I'm getting close.
Yeah, I mean, we've got presently president that has vascular dementia. Like, I remember everybody was asking for Trump's medical records and all this stuff. Can we not? There's got to be some kind of way, constitutionally speaking, that we can get an independent medical evaluation done on the fucking president. The 25th Amendment exists, right? So there has to be some kind of way for that to be put into effect other than just the people around him. No, my mic's not even turned on here, guys.
It's not turned on.
Is it turned on now?
There it is. There it is. We get a hot mic. What do you think? You got the mic on, Dan?
Yeah, it's on.
Are you sure it's on?
Yeah,
All right, Dan. You know?
It's better now. Hey, can you come, Giorgio,
There it is,
and put this
Giorgio.
mic in the right goddamn spot?
We're going last minute here. Going on the fly, doing what we can here. Yeah, look, with Biden and everything else that's going on, I don't know that you're ever going to get that answer, because the doctor issue has been around for a while in American presidency, and there's always been a question of, are they right? Are they correct? With Trump, it was a case of, is he too obese? Is he too fat? Is he too? And then, he came out, clean bill of health, everything was fine, everybody was dealing, and, great, moving on. And then the other side was like, no, he needs to be tested. He's eating too much McDonald's, drinking too much Diet Coke and all this other shit.
Well, he is eating too much McDonald's and drinking too much Diet Coke.
Yeah, he probably was.
No, he definitely is.
Yes.
He's fat as shit.
Yes, 100%. But his doctor said, hey, man, he's 100% fit. He's in shape. He's at his fighting weight, I think he said. He's ready to go. He could probably run a marathon.
I mean, there's no... What is he going to do? Run a marathon?
I would like to see it.
No.
I would love to see it, me personally.
I'm just... Everything, it's good. Everything with all the hypocrisy going on right now is crazy. And it's... what I'm seeing that I really don't like... Are you sucking my dick again?
Giorgio.
My refractory period is pretty good, but it's not that good. Look that up, you bunch of dummies.
By the way, everybody said, hey, get the Rogan mic stands. They're awesome. So we've had these. They're a piece of shit.
No, these mic stands are fine. It's this goddamn table that these goofy retards built.
it's the floor.
Yeah, the floor is like...
The floor is lava, obviously.
Yeah, the floor is certainly lava.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of room for activities in here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, all the hypocrisy that's going on right now is driving me nuts.
Yeah, because there's the Gender Council is what we'll start with.
I'm sorry, what?
The Gender Council?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, there's a Gender Council that's being started by the Biden administration, so that's going to happen.
And is that to determine what gender people are? Or?
Potentially, or what you can be, where we're going to go in the future, and all that other stuff, because there's a lot of talk of it. There's some states that are independently passing bills or trying to pass bills and laws.
Yeah, I saw that... whatever
Mississippi?
No, whatever that woman is, or whatever her name is, the trans woman. That's, well, I don't even know what her job is, to be honest. I couldn't care less. But saw a speech she was giving about giving children hormone-blocking drugs to make sure they don't go through the wrong puberty. These people need to be swept completely out of society. Like, you have to go. Once you start bringing in your woke bullshit into children's lives, you need to fucking go. Get the fuck out.
I agree. And I've got 2 children. I couldn't imagine either me making that decision for them or them trying to make that decision for themselves with a mind like that is not fully formed yet and developed. And then, you get into the high school issue with the Mississippi thing. Like they passed or they're trying to pass this bill where men can't enter women's sports and vice versa for high school because it's affecting scholarships and everything else, right? I don't know where we go with all of this, but like I said at the top of the show, if a meteor takes me out of this earth, I think I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, man. Look, I want people to not be disabused of their ability to live freely, right? Mm-hmm. That is what liberty is all about. And as I've said before, liberty only exists if it exists for everybody. But liberty is not being able to mutilate the genitals of a child. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's not liberty, motherfucker. And, Rand Paul's taking heat now because he said something to that effect, and it's transphobic. Oh, God.
Yep.
Look, if you're a fucking 25-year-old person and you want to fucking make a decision to switch your genders or from your perspective, align your physical body with your mental gender, I guess, if you want to call it that, then that's fine. But you start fucking injecting children with stuff, then I'm going to blow your fucking brains out of the back of your head because you are hurting children, and that cannot be allowed in this country.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's obviously saying that metaphorically.
I'm not. I think those people should be, anybody that's going to stick a needle in some kid's arm to make them go through a different puberty process than somebody else, that is child abuse. They're ruining the rest of that child's life, and they should be killed for it, period. There's no fucking equivocating on that. You can't harm children with impunity. The same thing I would say about pedophiles, I will say about these people mutilating children. So if you don't like it, suck my dick.
Is there anybody out there who wants to suck? Giorgio just sucked his dick for a little bit. So I think we're good to go on that. But with that going on, everything else going on, you thought maybe 2021 was settling down a little bit, and then it hasn't. Today was the first day of the George Floyd trial for about 30 minutes today.
Yeah.
And then they halted that. The prosecution did, by the way, not the defense. The prosecution, and they were appealing to the Supreme Court of Minnesota about a different charge. I don't know the legal world as well as you do, and I wanted to ask you about that today. What is the significance of going from a second-degree murder charge to a third?
What's the difference?
Yes.
Well, I mean, so most places don't even have third-degree murder, I don't think. Most states. This is a thing that's unique to Minneapolis, or Minnesota rather. But I think here the third-degree murder charge is more akin to like a what do you call it? Manslaughter, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't have to prove. In second-degree murder, you still have to prove some kind of intent, whereas first-degree murder you have to prove intent plus what do you call it? You thought about it ahead of time. What the fuck's it called?
Premeditation.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Minnesota.
So there are two types of third-degree murder. The first is an unintentional killing during a dangerous act with a depraved mental state. This offense carries max 25 years in prison. The second is an unintentional killing related to certain drug offenses. This offense also carries 25 years max and a $40,000.
So what would that be like, giving somebody a fucking hot shot and they die from the drugs you give them?
I would guess,
Yeah.
for dealing heroin to somebody and they fucking OD.
Yeah, I mean, look, we said when these charges first came up, what was it, a year and a half ago? Mm-hmm. I said that third-degree murder is the right charge for this. That is probably what they can convict on. Because of the wokeness and all the stupid bullshit, they're going to charge second degree and not be able to get it. Now, if I'm fucking his defense team, I'm like, fuck you guys. You had the chance to charge him with that, and you didn't. You know what I mean? Yep. I don't know what the system is like in Minneapolis. To be honest, I don't give a fuck about Minnesota. I hope that whole fucking place burns to the ground because they're getting exactly what they've asked for.
Well, there's a good shot at it because they're protesting outside the courtroom and all that stuff.
If I'm a cop in Minnesota right now, I leave. Fuck these people, man. They burn down your fucking precincts. They fucking torched the city for months on end when the right thing was happening. The man's standing fucking trial for this shit. I don't know what else they expected to happen.
Yeah,
right?
I don't either.
And the story turned out to be a lot different than it was, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, this dude's has enough fentanyl in his system to murder a horse.
Yeah.
So complications, right? There's a little nuance there, but the system is working as it is intended to work. So what exactly are you burning down buildings for? You stupid fucks. I'm done with these people. I'm done with all this fucking stupid woke bullshit, the equivocation on Antifa and all this stuff. There's some fucking articles from Herman Lopez, right, from Vox. Mm-hmm. Here's something he wrote on January 6th. Every person who forced their way into the Capitol should be arrested. And he writes a whole fucking thing about that.
Yep.
Right? And then 2016, September 22nd, riots are destructive, dangerous, and scary, but can lead to serious social reform. Same guy. Why don't you fucking shut the fuck up? All right? Seriously. Just shut the fuck up. All of you people are full of shit. The way that the media is describing Biden right now, like, oh, it's fucking, he's showering money on people that are in desperate need. It's going to stimulate the economy. Like, it's, first of all, it's 600 less than what Trump proposed.
Mm-hmm. There's a limited number of people who can get it. So there's restrictions on that.
They raised, or they raised the limit to 70,000. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: it's the same problem with the goddamn nationwide minimum wage. Not everybody that makes $70,000 a year needs to be bailed out right now. That is not a good measure for whether or not someone is struggling or not. Now, there's no great way to adjudicate that on a mass level with 330 fucking million people in the country, but it's all this stuff is fucking bullshit. This country's fucked. And now it's just kind of like just waiting for it to die so we can start over.
Yeah, and that's, I'm glad you said it like that, because that's what I feel. So I'm going to treat it and the rest of the news and all this other shit that goes on throughout the days and weeks as kind of my own personal humor, because I've accepted the fact that it's probably going to die at this point.
And it not only is it going to, but it deserves to die, frankly.
Yeah.
So
because of the way we are and the things that we allow and the media and everything else, like, yes, dude. So I don't really care at this point.
No, this has been a failed experiment since the very beginning, because it relies too much on the goodness of man, and man is not good. Men are garbage. Human beings are pieces of shit, right? We're cowards. We're afraid of everything, and it comes through in every single facet of our lives. In our relationships, we want to fucking fuck somebody over before they can fuck us over. In business, we want to fuck somebody over before they can fuck us over. In government, we want to fuck somebody over before they can fuck us over. And here we are, goddammit. So fucking eat up, bitches. You fucking earned it.
That's kind of the way I feel with all this shit. And like every day I wake up to some new wokeness about something else that is completely ridiculous, and then some other company trying to outprove the other company that they're more woke than the other one. This morning, look, number one story was George Floyd. So we had that. Then the trial gets halted 30 minutes in, and then they're like, I think we should try for a lesser charge. We were incorrect. Here's the thing. You were so woke that you bowed to the mob that asked for the extra charge. Now you know you can't get it. On the day that you're starting the trial, you had a fucking year to prepare for this shit. And here you are saying, I don't know if we can get this. Let's kick that on back to the Supreme Court of our own state and then see what happens after that. Number one story. Number two story, Burger King. Walked in, I was like, Rob, did you hear about the George Floyd thing today? No. All I heard about was fucking Burger King. Burger King puts out a tweet of women should be in the kitchen. That was the tweet today. I laughed my ass off because I thought they got hacked at first. And then I went down to the next like couple tweets, and what they were saying in this string of tweets was women should be in the kitchen because women have the right to be chefs as well as men and everything else.
And nobody thought that might be taken wrong.
Put that up on the screen, Bob.
Yeah, traditionally, like in the higher culinary arts, the kitchens are mostly dominated by men, and like there's very few women who break through. Uh-huh. And I know what they were trying to do here, but it's just full circle. It's just so full circle.
Wow.
And here's the thing. So I caught this morning. This was at 3:01 a.m. our time. I was still up, and I saw this, and I was like, huh? Is this real? I thought somebody hacked into Burger King's account, and then I kept reading the other tweets, right? And then it says, if they want to, of course. Yet only 20% of chefs are women. We're on a mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by empowering female employees with the opportunity to pursue a culinary career, which is fine. Could you not have combined those tweets? How did you think it was going to read?
Women belong in the back of the house was my second. Was the alternate option.
Oh boy. But and here's the fucked up thing is like, dude, with everything that's going on and the wokeness of everything, like with Oreo and Nilla wafers and all these other tweets of companies and everything else, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But Burger King would want to try to outdo Oreo in the wokeness crowd or whatever. So therefore, I think I'm just going to wake up every day and make a joke about it because I know personally it's not getting better. I'm not going to ask anybody to try to be different.
Yeah,
I think it'll just eventually die.
Bob was telling me about Papa John this morning, the guy with the moat. Apparently he spent, like, he straight up, find the quote, Bob.
The Papa? The actual Papa?
Yeah, he said something to the effect of he spent the last 20 months trying to remove the N-word from his vocabulary. I don't know why it would take 20 months.
Whoa, was that a tweet? Yeah, was that a tweet? And then did a doctor?
He was on cable news.
Oh, he was on
OAN, and he was like, yeah, I've been spending the last 20 months trying to get the N-word out of my vocabulary.
I mean, what in the fuck? I just want to make sure that everybody knows that it's not just the left that's crazy here.
Yeah,
this guy is like a huge fucking Republican, and that My Pillow guy's a fucking cunt too. All these people are out of their goddamn minds. Daily Wire is like, every time that anything pops up, like that. Let's be clear, the shit that Cuomo has done is fucked, right?
Yeah.
And his brother's behavior on CNN, completely fucked.
Yeah.
Last night, or was it? Yeah, it was last night, I think. He told Don Lemon, like, oh, I'm black on the inside.
Yep.
Totally reasonable thing to say.
Yeah.
And it's funny. In the context of the conversation they were having, that was actually a pretty funny thing to say. I thought it was funny. Yeah. And everybody's losing their mind today. If this was a fucking Republican that said that, it fucking blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, go be like them then. If you hate them so much, go be like them. That's worked out in the past, you fucking dummy. Shut the fuck up.
I want to say, by the way, there are companies on the other side that do this all the time that Burger King did. Like if someone was like, white people are trash, and then it went down, but actually they're nice. Or, you know what I mean? Like, people would be like, white people, you shouldn't be so fucking bad. Like, it's...
Both sides. It's getting just ridiculous. And like, look, I stood up for the other fucking Cuomo last night. Like, these women keep coming out after Andrew Cuomo in New York. Now, is he a dirtbag? Yes, he is. But not to the level of a rapist or. So far, none of these women have said, "Hey, man, I was touched inappropriately."
When he said, "I never touched anybody," apparently, at least according to all the evidence so far, that was true. So we're talking about sexual harassment, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you should lose your job as governor for that.
Well, so one of the women was interviewed, and it said, "Well, what was the sexual harassment?" And he was like, "Well, he hugged me when I said goodbye, and I felt uncomfortable." And they were like, "All right, great. Well, what
did you tell him?"
Yeah, yes, and that's what they asked.
Did you tell him?
And she was like, "No, I was unsure what to do or whatever." And they were like, "Well, what was the end result?" And they were like, "Well, we hugged one more time, and then I left. I had to get out of the room at that point, because I just got out of there." And I was like, "Well, did he say anything of like, hey, I want to fuck you or anything else?"
Yeah.
Well, no. And I was like, "Okay, cool. So what's a man supposed to do in the workplace with I guess it's just fist bumps or maybe elbows at this point or whatever." But
the dude says she's a survivor now, telling her truth. I just can't take any of you motherfuckers seriously anymore, man. Do you ever since you were a child, your parents or somebody else has told the story of crying wolf to you, right?
Yes.
Everybody knows this fucking story. Every child in America knows this story. And every child currently in America has fucking forgotten it, apparently, because they cry wolf all the time. Look, your feelings, this emotional reasoning stuff, thinking that your feelings are somehow the facts, right? That is a symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
Right? The same way that catastrophizing is, where you think everything is the worst thing that's ever happened before. These are symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, and we're teaching these children. And I mean, it's not even children now. It's not even Gen I or the internet generation. It's Gen Z, and then a lot of millennials as well. That you deserve to feel a certain way all the time, and if you don't, it's somebody else's fault, and that person needs to lose their job and their life and their career over it. Yeah, this is bananas. And if you believe that way, if this is the future of our country, then I don't want to fucking be here, frankly. I don't want to live in this goddamn country. I'm not. I mean, look, the good news is that all these people are fucking pussies. And when it comes down to the actual fighting, it's just going to be like, pop.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a fucking mousetrap slamming shut on their head. And they're going to be like, oh, no, what happened? They're oppressing me. Like, no, we just got tired of your bullshit, all right?
Yeah.
Just live your fucking life, man.
Because, then you have the other side of this where people are doing it for fame, right?
Yeah.
They're pretending to be woke or pretending to have PTSD or suicidal for fame, right? And that was on full display last night with Meghan Markle and the Oprah interview, which drew 17 million viewers. I was watching the NBA All-Star game, right? Mm-hmm. Got a little too woke for me after the three-point contest.
I didn't watch any of it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a single NBA game all season.
I wanted to see Steph Curry in the three-point shootout.
I'll watch the replay.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving them views.
By the way, 31 in the first round, 29 in the second. I needed a 3-ball at the buzzer, the money ball, to beat Mike Conley. It was great, right?
What was the final one?
It was 29-28. Curry beats Conley on the last money ball.
Wait, there were only
shot.
2 rounds?
2 or 3. I think there was only 2 because they shortened it this year.
And the dunk contest
was
at
at
halftime.
halftime.
Never heard
it was
of.
terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. And they did that at halftime.
Well, they wanted to make it all one event so they didn't have to expose too many people to this virus that's like how many NBA players have died from COVID? 0 is the answer. 70% of people that have died are over 65 years old.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. I mean,
Just anybody that's related to Carl Anthony.
Wow, man, it was like 7 in his family.
Yeah.
You turn his mic and my headphones down a little bit.
Yeah.
A little hot on my side.
It's
but,
a little hot. Yeah. So I mean,
I'm watching that, right? And
Right.
and I'm in it, right? It was Curry. It was on fire. It was amazing. It was fun. And then it was a hard cut to Michael B. Jordan interviewing Kamala Harris about HBCUs, which I didn't really know what that. It's black colleges. I don't know what the H stands for.
historically black colleges and universities. You really don't know what that is?
I didn't know the H.
Like Grambling?
So I know what they are, right? But I didn't know what the H is, to be honest with you, and that's what they were referring it as. And then they gave out scholarships all throughout the night, and he got to interview Kamala Harris and whatever. And I was like,
Why are we giving out scholarships to people? For what exactly?
I'm not sure. The other part about it is why are we interviewing the vice president before the NBA All-Star game, in between the three-point shootout and this? You know, like you see Steph Curry holding up a huge trophy, and then it's like, now let's cut to the vice president of the United States, and we'll talk about the world. And you're like, why? We're in the middle of the NBA All-Star game. I don't want to watch that.
Right.
Therefore, I flipped over to Meghan Markle's, which I wasn't going to watch. I wasn't going to watch the Meghan Markle thing. I flipped on over there. I caught about 10 minutes of it. Within that 10 minutes, she was talking about somebody in the royal family had said they were worried that she was going to have a dark baby, and it was going to be too dark for the royal family. Oprah is dumbfounded. Yes, they started pressing her on that. Bob, if you could pull a picture up of Meghan Markle and Harry together.
I don't believe that anyone said that.
I don't either.
Honestly, I don't believe that.
So we're in the same camp, you
But
and
that's
I.
fine, even if they did. I mean, look, I expect the queen is a piece of shit. She's an old white fucking billionaire racist. She's a piece of shit. Of course she's a piece of shit. Why would she not be a piece of shit? She's been rich and kind of in charge for her whole life. The fact that whole aristocracy exists over there still is completely fucked. They get paid like $15 billion a year by the government, by taxpayers.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we paid the president of the United States here and we didn't get to choose who it was?
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
$15 fucking billion a year? No, we would burn the fucking house down, man. That's retarded.
So pop that picture of the two of them up on screen. Now, Dan, you have the same complexion kind of as Harry, a little bit. Would you think either of them would pop out a super black baby that would offend the royal family?
Only if she's been having sex with Wesley Snipes or somebody.
Yes.
You know?
And that's exactly what I thought.
But I mean, they're offended by her presence already. That part I've heard is true.
Yes, but for different reasons. I guess she's just a bitch, right? And there was like some bullying charges she was bullying staff and all this other shit. Oprah seemed shocked last night to the point where she was like, I'm going to ask this again because I don't really believe this. She said, yes, this happened. Harry had to release a statement this morning saying it was not the Queen and was not, who's the other old fucker who's 99? Loved balloons, yeah. Prince Philip, yeah. So Harry released a statement saying it was not the Queen or Prince Philip. This story is obviously burning down the world right now, and in the UK and everything.
That's a lot of shit talking for people that are basically on welfare. Like, what exactly does the royal family do? They get paid. I think it's somewhere close to $100 million a year.
Yeah.
Like in additional money from the government or from the taxpayer, but they have like billions of dollars in landowners that they get fucking money on every year. I think they bring in somewhere around 15, 20 billion a year.
So I'm glad you brought that up because it was brought up last night by Meghan, who was like, look, we were completely cut off by the royal family financially.
Oh, no.
We've had to fend for ourselves, essentially. They signed a gajillion-dollar deal with Spotify for podcasts.
Imagine going in front of the American public right now during a goddamn pandemic. It's not a pandemic. This has all been made up. It's all bullshit. Anyways, imagine going in front of the American public and whining as a princess.
Do you know where they had to
That's
take
exactly
refuge?
what I thought last night. Was it Santa Barbara?
No, worse.
Where?
Tyler Perry's mansion.
Oh, no.
Tyler Perry gave them a mansion to stay in.
The one in Atlanta?
I one of them. I don't know. He's a fucking billionaire.
Yeah, he is.
Fuck these people.
Is Tyler Perry richer than the Queen of England?
No.
She's worth a couple billion.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's pretty goddamn rich.
He's close.
He's probably worth.
He's getting there.
He's probably worth close to $1 billion now.
Yeah.
He's
over. Yeah, he's over.
Here's the lesson that we're learning from Meghan Markle. We're learning that no matter how successful you are, right, in your own right, and then how far you advance from your social interactions with other people and your business dealings and things like that, no matter how great life becomes for you, you can still be a victim. Congratulations, Meghan. You're really a fucking hero.
That's exactly
to
what I thought
all these little
last night.
girls out there, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought last night. So I watched it, and I said this was the worst acting I've ever seen. And so this morning I kind of waited up, when I got up, I was looking at the feedback because I was like, man, they're going to fucking kill her.
Hey, can you pull up Clay Aiken's Twitter right quick, by the way?
Yeah, I'm sorry, from American Idol?
Yeah.
I thought they were going to kill her today, and it was the opposite.
Yeah,
Serena
like
Williams
she
sent her
was-
congratulations.
Look at that. Right after her shit aired.
Yeah.
No. Go get out of that. Not that one. The one at the top. He posted the one at the top. God damn it, the fastest growing career field.
Yeah.
Right after Meghan Markle's shit ended, this is what he posted.
The fastest growing career field in America is victimhood. Wow. Look, I enjoyed Clay Aiken on American Idol. I enjoy him more as a human now. That might be the quote of the year.
And then somebody fucking says, delete this.
This right
ain't
underneath
it.
it,
The
yeah,
fucking woke Twitter mob is coming after a gay North Carolinian. Are you kidding me? You think you fucking stupid bitch, you think you've been through more than Clay Aiken being gay in goddamn Raleigh, North Carolina in the fucking 1980s and 90s? Get fucked. Jesus Christ, this guy had to hide who he was until he became famous, for Christ's sake.
So
Fuck
many
you.
blowjobs in Bojangles parking lots.
Yeah, he's got
yeah.
dirty rice stuck between his teeth right now. That's right, I fucking said it. I love Clay Aiken now. He's based, whatever the fuck that means. Scroll down and let's see some of the comments on this because I think they're funny.
Somebody said, this ain't it. Oh, I've gotten that one a few times. This ain't it.
Let's see.
Please explain. I'm not in the media. There's still time to. I've gotten that one too. There's still time to delete this. I went on the Shia LaBeouf's outfits on Instagram because they kept posting like Shia LaBeouf's outfits the day after he beat that FKH Wigs, and I was like, "Are you guys not going to post the outfit that he beat her in?" And they were like, "That was it. I got that. There's still time to delete this. There's no need for this to the world. Please delete this."
Oh yeah,
And
why
I was
would
like,
we remind
No.
people that this guy they're celebrating actually hits women for fun?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, the fucking account was created. We all know who Shia LaBeouf was. Like, who gives a shit? So I woke up and I fully expected people to be on my side of like,
Yeah.
hey man, this was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
No,
last
it
night. It was
doesn't-
the opposite. Serena Williams. Find the Serena Williams tweet. She was like, oh my God, you're so brave. This was unbelievable what you did last night, Meghan Markle. I'm so proud of you. And I'm like,
if hitting women is brave, then I am very brave.
no, but in regards to the Meghan Markle thing with the racism, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Serena Williams gets out there. She was like, "Oh my gosh, whatever you do, you're
She's
so brave." and
Meghan
it's
Markle
amazing."
Meghan Markle is a crisis actor. Like
Yes.
she launched herself headlong into this situation. She married into an old racist white family from a foreign fucking country of aristocracy, right? She married into an aristocracy and then got mad when they tried to box her out. That's what they do. motherfucker. If you put your hand in the fire and you get burned and you look at me, I'm going to be like, you're fucking stupid. And I've got those words from Meghan Markle today. You are fucking stupid.
Now, on my side of it, I looked at it like, all right, he's 7th in line for the throne. I don't even know if the family gives a fuck that much. It seems like she wants everyone to care because there's no possibility that she would ever be the queen.
Why is this goddamn
or everything
news?
else?
Why is it news? This isn't news.
Meghan Markle?
So
Yeah.
this situation with Meghan Markle affects 3 people. Her husband, and the child.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So why the fuck is it goddamn news? Why should I give a fuck what this stupid bitch is doing with her fucking useless fucking victimhood life? The only people that it is affecting now, right, are all the young girls that are watching this shit and learning exactly the playbook to use, right, to get attention and become a victim. That should be great for our future, right?
Yeah,
Hell yeah, let's fucking do this, man.
And that-
hey, can we just
yes.
go ahead and burn this whole studio down?
It reeked of Bill Burr's monologue on white women need to take their talking to.
Oh, well, Meghan Markle's a fucking white woman for sure.
She is.
She's a person of color in the same way that I am.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I do have a color, but it's not the one you're talking about.
Bill Schofield says the royal family, as we know, will end after the Queen dies. We're essentially they will essentially become the UK Kardashians after that. I actually really agree with this statement.
Yeah.
Because look, all the wokeness and all that other shit, like the hashtag "end the royal family" was going around
What,
all
like
day
to
today.
murder them or just...
Wow. Look, 2 of them are about to die. One of them's 100, the other one's 99, and then kind of where do you go from there?
Well, I mean...
Afterwards. And Harry claims, by the way, last night that the prince, his dad, who's going to take over after she dies.
For the 12 seconds he has left in his life.
Exactly, because she lived to be 100.
Yeah.
That he was trapped, William is trapped, and they're all fucking, trapped in this sad life, living in castles and having the government pay for your life and being
it's
rich
rough,
and going
dude.
around the world and doing shit. It's crazy.
There are a lot of forms of oppression for sure. If you don't want to live that royal life, then get the fuck out and go do your thing. But don't fucking whine about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are you doing a fucking an international goddamn whining tour now to get sympathy to your side? All they're doing, this is like somebody who they're crazy as fuck, and then they break up with their fucking boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse or whatever, and they go on the offensive. They go start talking to everybody's friends. He's a piece of shit, man. I don't know what to tell you. Whomever out of the breakup makes the most noise later, that's the person that caused it. I promise you that shit. Because they're going on the fucking PR tour to make up for all the stupid bullshit they've done. Believe me, I've gone through this a number of times. Quite a few times. People are fucking cunts, man.
Yeah, and it's just going to continue. But what you were saying earlier about this is a playbook for young women.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is. Because now you're going to lean either on Me Too or I was inappropriate and all that other shit. And look, I don't like Andrew Cuomo. Yes, he probably murdered thousands of old people, up there. But all of these people who have come out and accused him of sexual harassment, like I haven't seen anything even close to what Biden was accused of or what Trump was accused of. And Charlemagne the God was on, who I fucking hate, was on Bill Maher over the weekend, and they got into it a little bit where he was just like, look, man, with the Cuomo thing, he has to go. And Bill Maher was like, why? Why does he have to go? And it was like, because Biden, we all voted for Biden, right? Biden was accused of much worse, and we didn't do shit about that.
Right.
Therefore, if we don't do anything about this, then what the fuck are we saying about Biden and who we voted for and everything else? And Bill Maher's response was, well, I think we all know Biden didn't do that. How? How do we know? Same thing with the Cuomo shit. Like, again, I don't like Andrew Cuomo, but all the girls' reports, the women's reports that I've read about him, there hasn't been one that has been horrifically awful where it's like he might have made an inappropriate joke here and there, but whatever, man, we've all done that. It's not like he jammed somebody's head into in his lap or, raped somebody or anything like that. Yeah. If you're going to throw him out of being governor, it should be for killing thousands of old people.
Yeah, I mean,
not the other thing.
I really do think that there's something to that theory that this is all a distraction from the COVID situation. They're still trying to make you live in fear of COVID, and it's not anything to be afraid of, frankly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've had it. It's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
If you're immunocompromised or you're old or if you're fat, what you won't see are these studies where, here, this is a good example, actually. So the CDC changed its language.
Yes, I saw that. Was it last night?
It was over the weekend.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up right quick so I can read the exact language to you.
Because now they were saying if you got vaccinations, you could go and party with people without masks on and shit.
So, this is the WHO. Sorry. So the WHO's their definition of herd immunity on 9th of June 2020 was that herd immunity happens from an infectious disease when a population is immune either through vaccination or immunity developed through previous infection. Now, it says herd immunity, also known as population immunity, is a concept used for vaccination in which a population can be protected from a certain virus if a threshold of vaccination is reached. Herd immunity is achieved by protecting people from a virus, not by exposing them to it.
Yeah.
That's a lie. And that's why we pulled out of the WHO in the first place.
But
because
now
they're
we're
liars.
back in. So we got back in.
There's also
and
a study going around that the vast majority of COVID deaths happen in the counties that have the highest concentration of morbidly obese people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Stop lying to us. And I was in an argument, excuse me, not too long ago with this stupid fuck about the creep of socialism. Like, we're not even close to socialism. Is the guy's like, okay, cool, that's a good bellwether. But you can see the pathway, right? And if you don't believe that this is happening, look at this goddamn stimulus bill. What does it do? It gives $1,400 to people that make a certain amount of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a federal employee, it gives you $1,400 a week if you get sick with COVID, right?
Right.
To pay for whatever the fuck you got to pay for.
Sure.
So if the government is trying to bribe people with your money and my money to toe the party line and do the fucking government thing, they're buying subservience, right? We've seen this before, motherfucker.
Yeah.
This is not new. This has been done a million goddamn times before. If you want people in your government, right, to say fuck the people and do what the government tells them to do, then all you got to do is pay them well.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. And that to me says that this government, the United States government, is my fucking enemy. And it's your enemy too. And it's always been. And I promise you'll fucking believe that if you just go read The Master Switch by Tim Wu. You'll lose your mind at some of this stuff. About the monopolies created by RCA and AT&T and fucking NBC and all these guys over the years. It's fucked.
Yeah. Let me ask you this serious question. Do you think we have a socialist in the office in our lifetime? As president?
I mean, I think that Kamala Harris is probably socialist, yeah. But I mean, it's that's not really worth discussing whether the person themselves is socialist or not. That's not how socialism happens. You don't get socialism because somebody runs as a socialist and then switches the government over to socialism. It is a steady creep, right? Mm-hmm. And at some point, there's a tipping point where the individual entrepreneur doesn't have the capital, whether it's financial capital or political capital, to fight back against it anymore. And we're getting really close to that now.
Because the more and more I think about it, right, and I agree with you. I think it is a slow creep, but with the wokeness and the gender issues and everything else that's going on, and then people just not wanting to work because they're waiting for this check or whatever, and universal income is coming, and all there's the robots and all that shit. Like, I think there's a decent shot at it if I live long enough. The problem is I don't know that I will. But I think there is a decent shot that we we creep more and more towards it, unless something drastic happens. But it did, and in 2016, and that didn't last long, and people were offended and got him out of there. And I'm not sure anymore. Like I'm really not, because every day I wake up and I'm seemingly shocked by something, and then you can't help but laugh about it. But how long until books are gone and these shows are gone and everything else is controlled by the government, and what you can say and you can't say, all these other businesses that are trying to out-woke each other. God, I spent fucking an hour and a half on a business call last night with somebody, a good friend of mine in LA who's relatively famous, who was trying to get this movie made or whatever. And he goes, man, I'm having problems with X, Y, and Z and the script and everything else. And I was like, it's going to get worse, man.
Yeah.
Because now people are coming through just words and what words they deem offensive and why and who can say it and vice versa. And I go, I don't know that you're ever going to get that creative freedom you're looking for anymore unless you're just doing wild ass shit on Patreon or, you know, some other things. Because all of it across the board seems to be heading in that direction of, oh shit, can I say this? Am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to touch somebody or not do something or, you know?
Yeah, am I allowed?
Am I allowed?
Imagine thinking that. Imagine being a person in business or just trying to say out loud what you're thinking. And imagine saying to yourself, am I allowed to do this or say this? That is completely fucked.
Yes. Yeah. And man, yeah, you know, if people look, I had dinner with a buddy of mine last night. We went over some shit, and he was just like, man, you're lucky you get to say all the shit you want to say every day. And I was like, there's still limits to it. You know, we still have problems with fucking subscribers on YouTube. I was on the phone with him today. For YouTube, and I was like, hey man, is there something wrong? Have we been labeled a terrorist organization or something like that? And there were certain keywords that they were looking up, and they gave me this other number to call and all this other shit, and like one of them was the American Party, and they were like, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's a podcast. And they were like, what is it about? And I'm like, well, there's nobody storming the fucking Capitol or anything. They're just kind of talking about the world and everything else. And I was like, but don't you guys have access to that? And they were like, yeah, it's something in the phrasing. And I was like, all right. What else? Yeah, Ross Patterson Revolution, right? And we're looking at that. And they were like, the word revolution, we're just not really sure on what was the thinking and the meaning behind that. And I was like, if you were to explain every single meaning, I was like, look, man, I started the show like right after Prince died. I was just a huge Prince fan. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
And then alliteration, obviously.
Right. So
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, and they passed me off to somebody else, and because that's the next step too. Is like the next number they gave me, you call, and they were like, "Hi, due to COVID, we're dealing with an unusual amount of phone calls right now. Your current wait time is 1 hour and 48 minutes." And I was like, "Sweet. Was there a bunch of people with COVID trying to call in right now, or are they not somewhere that they should be?"
Well, look, if this bill passes in Texas, where you're allowed to sue digital media companies for deplatforming and restricting your shit, then the first thing we're going to do is sue YouTube for sure. Like we'll have a lawsuit filed that week against YouTube, because what'll happen is, I doubt anything will change, but they'll have to fucking come out with their standard. They'll have to say why they did what they did.
Right. And by the way, you were talking about the MyPillow guy earlier. I'm with you on the MyPillow guy. I think he's a fucking idiot, but there is one very interesting thing that he said. So when the Dominion software sued him, right? He was like, I was waiting for this day to happen so I could countersue them. And a lot of people didn't know what that meant and why.
Because he wants discovery.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that is the only way you're going to get access to whatever was going on behind the scenes,
that
whatever.
was a huge mistake by them to sue that guy, by the way.
That's what I thought too, because that guy actually has money. So he can fight the lawsuits, and it really doesn't matter, right? Him, Dominion suing these other people, yeah, they don't have the fucking money for it, or,
Yeah.
But when you countersue like that, an individual, yeah, he can be like, hey man, you ruined my business, you ruined this thing, and now I want to see the discovery behind it. So show me all your shit. And people were asking me in the messages like, hey man, what do you think is going to happen with this guy? I don't think anything. I think they'll settle somewhere in there, and we'll never know what the fuck actually went on with all of it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the only mechanism large enough to take on big tech at this point is government, and frankly, I don't trust them either. So at this point, I'm just looking to do whatever I can to pit government against big tech and watch them fight, or just let this all burn, because look, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
This is the same thing I told those two loudmouth Patriots fans at the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They're like, oh, because you were wearing a Rams jersey, and they're like, oh, fucking, if the Rams win, you guys better watch out. I'm like, well, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. So and I just turned around and looked at them like, you two might not be if you keep talking shit like that, but I'm going to be fucking fine. I'm like, oh, fucking. And then you threatened to rape both of them.
Well, things escalated later on in the game, Dan. They said that to you around the end of the second quarter, and then mine was the fourth after the...
Then they started trying to suck my dick after that.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny how how cowards behave in public. I'm a big fan of that. But anyways, yeah, I'll be fine. If all this stuff starts happening. Look, the next things after they start taking your voice away, the next thing they start taking away is your ability to defend yourself, right? Mm-hmm. It's happened in fucking Russia, China, everywhere.
Yeah.
Forever. It's always happened like that. So if enough military people or police decide that they're going to enforce this shit, then we're going to have to fucking start fighting. It's just the way it is, man.
And if anybody was born for a militia, it was you.
I looked like I was in one already. But that's got to be the goal right now. The goal right now for everybody is to start messaging in a good way, right? Start talking about positive shit. And what I mean by that is, I mean the military and police have to come out openly and say they're not going to support and defend the government. They're going to support and defend the Constitution. Right? There's going to be, I think there probably is going to be some split between the government and the military sometime in the next 15, 20 years, something like that. And there has to be, right? One of the people, or one of the groups that will lead this charge are sheriffs, because they have immense power in their states, and states have a lot of power as well. That's a big deal. Sheriffs are going to be a big deal. And then generals are going to be a big deal as well. My thinking is generals are probably going to fall on the side of the government, and they're going to become our enemy at some point.
Why is that?
Because they're cowards. They're politicians, right? Like, you don't become a general officer very frequently. Hutmacher, who we had on last night, rare example, but he's in the special operations community. It's different over there.
Yeah.
These line generals are, I mean, look at what they've done to us. They're the ones that told the government to send us to Iraq, Afghanistan. They're the ones that kept us there. They're the ones that keep beating the fucking battle drum. And they're the ones, when they retire, go get jobs at Raytheon and General Dynamics.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about soldiers. All they care about is their own fucking wealth, their own comfort. I got some to tell you guys. Your wealth and comfort are at risk right now, especially that last part. If you keep fucking around and trying to take my shit, I'm going to take your shit. It's just how it is, man.
Is there a huge, because I don't know this, is there a huge pay bump for being a general? Like, do you get a big salary and all that stuff?
I think, I mean, I could look it up, but I think a general, like a general officer probably makes $16,000 a month, something like that.
Okay.
Which is pretty good for a military person, but that's what they would make in retirement too. After about 38 years of service, I think you actually get paid more in retirement than you do in active duty pay. That's what Hutmacher was talking about the other day.
I see Air Force generals just off the top of a Google search, $189,000 a year.
Shit.
Which, what does the president make? Only like 3 times that.
Well, the president makes $400K a year.
Yeah, but I will say this: like congressmen make what, $175, so it's more than a congressman if you're comparing it to politicians.
Yeah, you can't trust these motherfuckers, man. It is. We're getting to the point now where people are going to have to choose sides, and I don't mean Democrat or fucking Republican. I mean Mitch McConnell and his fucking wife using their position to make money in the same way that Nancy Pelosi and her husband have used their position to make money. All these people are fucking corrupt. All politicians are cunts. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
We got a T-shirt coming out soon, by the way, that you can wear when you're fucking dragging these people. Well, whatever. We are at the precipice right now. To be honest, it has nothing to do with all these old political ideologies like capitalism versus communism versus socialism versus fascism or any of this shit. It's about power in the hands of a few, right? Used to the advantage of themselves and to the detriment of the many. Mm-hmm. And in every fucking case that's ever happened in human history, the many have murdered the few, right? And I haven't seen the Roman Senate anytime recently, have you?
No.
Exactly.
No, but something we were talking about last week, the prediction, because Texas is opening Wednesday, right? Mm-hmm. Big party here.
There's a new name for people. They're called barefacers.
Is that real, by the way? I caught a blurb of that. That can't be real, right?
People are using that phrase.
I'm a barefacer.
Yeah. I just want to talk to you about language a little bit, folks. There's no word to describe a person who doesn't believe that the moon is made of cheese. There's no word to describe a person who doesn't believe that Elvis is still alive, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, we create these words for unprovable principles and then use them as pejorative terms, like atheist, for example. That word should not exist. There's no evidence for God or any of that bullshit. So the fact that there's a word to describe people who don't believe this thing without evidence is fucking asinine. And now we have this new word emerging to describe people who don't buy into this bullshit. Because every time, if the politicians are doing what they're telling you not to, right, and they're hiding the data, then it's not real. That's the only evidence I need, that none of this is fucking real. So I guess we should make Barefacer t-shirts, right?
Yeah, it's spoken like a true bareface. Spoken like a true bareface. My prediction last week was, when Texas opened, you're going to have people who are now called barefacers, apparently, versus the people who will always wear the mask, right?
Oh, yeah.
And keep going with that. Over the weekend, we saw that fight at Bed Bath & Beyond over some shit like that, where it was, you're too close.
No, that was about cutting the line, apparently. That whole thing where it was about mask, the media made that up.
Oh, really?
Yep.
No shit.
Imagine that. I mean, imagine the media lying to you. Holy shit. I should just fucking pick this gun up and blow my brains out right now because this is incredible.
It's funny, man. That's how fast it goes, right? So I read that blurb and I was like, makes sense. Moved on with my day. Didn't bother to check on it. Nor does a lot of people, right?
No.
Whenever you read shit here and there, you catch it and you're like, oh man, that was crazy. And then you're like, oh, that wasn't real. And then most people don't know it's real. And then you go back to that. However, I actually believe that's going to happen in Texas, where certain places will require you to wear a mask, others won't. Well, and I think there's going to be fights over it.
Oh, there's definitely going to be fights. There's going to be lawsuits as well.
Because on Wednesday, there is you don't have to wear a mask. That is not a mandate anymore in the state of Texas.
Well, it's not a mandate, but a private company can still tell you have to wear a mask.
Correct, a restaurant. Yeah.
Now, what they can't do, this whole thing with the vaccination passport, absolutely not. That is a violation of so much shit, including if the government got involved. So let's say I go someplace and they won't serve me because of vaccination passport. They're asking me for medical records they're not entitled to, which is a fucking violation of HIPAA, right? Then if the government gets involved, like trying to arrest me or fine me or whatever, then it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment because they're requiring access to information they're not entitled to without a warrant. Get fucked with all this bullshit, dude.
I don't think
and this is not even real.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it.
No, they're not going to be able to do that. I mean, we say that, but who knows? I never thought any of this shit would happen either. So it's time to really fucking put the smack down on some of these people, right? Figuratively.
Yeah, obviously.
We got to go.
We do. This is the point in the show we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week.
It's Richard Danoff today. It's his birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it Big Dick Danoff's birthday?
He's 60. I have no idea how old he is.
Let's say 32 because he's single now.
Where do I get all this energy, like man says? I don't have any energy.
Cardomax.
Yeah, I guess.
Promo code DB. Buy one, get one.
I did have some today.
There's a nice bag right in front of Dan right there. Cardomax is great for it.
Everybody go say happy birthday to Richard.
Big Dick Danoff.
If you're a girl, send him pictures of your titties and butthole.
Oh, he'd love it.
Yeah.
He's single now.
Yeah.
He would love something like that. Happy birthday, Richard Danoff. He's old school drinking bro.
He's 36.
Yeah, always with us out at all of our events and hosts the best tailgates at the Ohio State University that I've ever been to. I love you, buddy. That's great. Happy birthday to him. And then tune in. Are we going live on Drinkin' Bro Sports?
Yeah, we are. We're going to go live in about 10 minutes with Chris Gronkowski.
Yeah, baby Gronk is on the show today on Drinkin' Bro Sports. Separate feed on YouTube, separate feed on all your podcast apps. So subscribe to that, rate and review the show, and do the same with Drinkin' Bros. That's what keeps us at the top of the charts. It's not the listeners. It is literally just the reviews on iTunes. Give it a 5-star and a quick review.
Hey, all you fucking turds in the chat, I did the final approval on the merch this weekend. It's all done. As soon as they have the website up, everything is ready.
Okay.
It should be this week, so just fucking relax or I'll start fucking you up. I'll turn the merch off forever if you don't quit. I'll turn this car right around and we'll go home, you sons of bitches. The only reason I want to have children is so I can swear at them.
That's it.
Shut up, you sons of bitches.
Oh, that's it. Flop on over to Drinkin' Bros Sports. We will see you over there in 10 minutes. For D'Anthony Hollaway, I am Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros last minute show today. Good afternoon, everyone.